I mentioned about chunking. You remember what I said about chunking? Okay. So someone comes in with this problem. And whatever the problem is, say like anger, okay? All right, and they have this problem. I say, well, how do you know you're angry? So then I start chunking down. How you know, and it breaks it down to one emotional driver. Oftentimes, as tappers, we'll go all the way down and we'll break it down and we start destroying the structure behind it. But sometimes they come in with this anger problem. We go all the way here to this event, such as anger driving, okay? And then we go to this, and then they still have anger, and of course we'll do another ladder, so to speak. And we go all the way down, we break it down. How do you know that I have this problem? But some of the most powerful ways is to chunk up. That means, why are we really angry? What is the real structure about self? You look at why you think. What is the big deal? Why is this anger so important? Why do you think that... why do you think I'm picking bad men? You know, we talk about bad men or bad women, and then they have this structure, and it goes down to, well, I'm just not worthy enough. So we want to upchuck. We want to go back up to the upchuck. Get it? I got it. So we want to go up to the higher structure. What do I believe about myself? What is it about me that I think I deserve all this stuff? So then you start backing up and you start looking globally at the big problem, and you say, what is the real deal? So sometimes we think this is the problem right here, but it may be a belief about self, and that's what we want to figure out. What is the structure? So we want to lift up, kind of raise up a little bit and say, what is she really saying about herself? What is her belief about herself? What is it she thinks about self, or he or she? I'm just using she reference. So sometimes we're going to chunk it down and kind of figure out what the problem is, and with the EFT style, this is the style we would use. We'd try to break it down, each piece, the look, the smell, the texture, the taste, the feeling, the sensations, and all this. But when you use the big structure, you say, what is the real deal here? Because we can spend days and hours trying to break the little pieces down. And so when I use the quick tap, super power tap, I'm looking at a big structure. I'm looking at what they do and how they represent themselves. And as you do this, then all of a sudden, you change this, and all these here just start to tumble and fall away. Is that pretty clear? So we want to upchuck. Chunk up. Go up. Right. Rise above the problem. Look beyond the pieces and get the big picture. Now, I don't know, remember last seminar, that training number 2, that's basically what I kind of did with the girls who volunteered, both of them. I kind of look at the big picture and say, what is it really, where's the theme at? What's the structure behind it? And then we destroy the structure, all of a sudden the houses start to tumble. There's nothing to support it. So we want to make sure we kind of look at it, because see, we could put little fires out all day long. But if you go to the cause, the one with the match in their hand, then you can end a lot of fires.
From my philosophy, now you're adding a spiritual element to it, because it always comes down to how we see ourselves. And so any of when you shift, the way you see yourself, then the response from then on will be different. Instead of constantly putting out fires, when you truly shift your identity, then the reality really changes.
Well, absolutely. Also, when you change the submodalities, you change the original memory, 5-year-old memory, when you change that, you change the cause of many other problems built on that one memory. Now that's going up. That's going to the structure. And when you change, this, say for example, 5 years old, this abuse happened. And from that point on, this little boy or little girl started building houses and belief system about self. Now you and I will go to this memory, the one that's always tormented them. Always. And we go here and we totally annihilate it. We totally change it where it's one of the best experiences in their life, and they can never feel it. You know what happens when they go home? Their mind goes, man, I am worn out. I got to restructure what I have always built about myself. And when they sleep, one of two things will happen. They're going to sleep like a baby, or their mind's going to have all this action going on. They'll have nightmares. They'll have stuff the mind's trying to restructure. This is the cause. Now, you said spiritual. Now, my belief system is Spirituality is emotional intelligence. Do you hear me? What are we talking about? When we're talking about forgiveness, are we not talking about emotions? Are we?
Yeah.
Anger, are we not talking about emotions? Now, those are spiritual concepts. Judgment and condemnation, are those spiritual concepts? Where does your problems come from? Your own judgments, your own dislike. Now, of course, I'm using basically the teachings of Jesus. Now, this is a very powerful concept. If you love within you the divine presence, or just have and practice love inside you, that means you will not use memories that torment you, hurt you, or affect you, or judge and condemn others. Because what are we operating from? If you love you and you're nice inside you, I'm going to treat Carmen better. I will pick people who will love me better because why? I love me better. Now, that's the two laws that Jesus said. Love God within you, with your strength, your actions, your mind, everything within you. Your body is a temple. Now, guys, if you don't believe in Jesus and you don't believe in God, it only makes logical sense. If you're nice inside here and you get rid of everything in you, memories, hurts, pains, whatever it is inside you, and you release that, and you tap it, you change it, you totally create a new you inside you, you're just going to naturally act differently. You're going to naturally be nice to other people. And if you look at any spiritual teaching, they're always talking about inner peace. Now, we're talking about truly this tapping process and changing those memories. We're truly talking spirituality. But it's logical. You see it? So, there's no church to join with this group. I don't know, but I want to pass a hat in a minute. But does that make sense? It is spiritual. It is logical. It is emotional intelligence. You know, of course, in the fruits of the Spirit in Galatians 5:21, 22, it says, the fruits of the Spirit, which is, Jesus only said, God is Spirit, or God is energy. And the expressions of that energy is love, joy, peace, kindness, temperance, self-control. Guys, we just want to have self-control. We want more peace. We want more love. We want more kindness. We want to just be nice to us. And if you're nice to you, you'll definitely tap out that stuff that irritates you. And it's really pretty bad when you're in this class and I say, you need to find a problem. Carmen's going, I can't find any more problems.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't feel bad. I say, think about George. I already did George. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
I mean, you have to work hard to feel bad.
Yeah.
So that's good. So that means you're emotionally intelligent and you're growing. And is that good? Go out and work with more people. Next week, guys, go over the power word technique. And if you have not read the anchoring, practice that anchoring. That's a long chapter. Triggers and anchors.
Is power word technique in here?
The power word technique is in my book, course number 2. And then I do want you to know the submodalities, because that's what you've been doing today.
But I mean that next chapter.
The next chapter, 15. Yeah. All right, guys.